Hi guys, okay, so I promised you a story about my run-in with a police officer. And in the previous video, so here you go. This happened when I was with my first husband, but we weren't married yet. We were moving from New Mexico to Virginia. Everything we owned, which wasn't much, was in the car. When we got to Nashville, we were coming off of an on-ramp, and I took particular notice of this police officer that had someone pulled over on the on-ramp. I don't know why, but something told me to just take notice of him. A little bit down the road, he gets behind me and turns his lights on. I look down at my speedometer and I'm locked in on cruise control at 55. Back in those days, I did the exact speed limit because of what happened with the yellow light. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, go look at the end of the previous video. So he pulls me over and he tells me that I was speeding. And I'm like, I argued a little. I'm like, I had my cruise set on 55. I mean, he would have had to prove that I was speeding. Didn't ask for my license. Didn't ask for any credentials at all. Asked me to get out of the car. Went back to his car. He was separating me and my then fiance. Puts me in the back of his police car, which I bet was, the heat must have been cranked up to 100. Because, good Lord. It was definitely hot in there. And so he goes up and starts asking my then fiance questions. And he comes back and he's asking me questions. And then he brings my fiance and puts him in the car with me. And he starts like, y'all gave different answers on some things. Like, who is this man to you? I said, he's my fiance. He said, well, he said it was your boyfriend. I'm like, potato. That's. And then he's like, no, we are engaged, but that's just, he just automatically said boyfriend. I'm like, what the? And so he says, and why are his eyes so like glassy? And what that was just his eyes, quite literally. I don't know. They were always like that. Like, I don't know. They just were like that. And he always had this deer in the headlight look about him. Anyways. Then it got really weird. He didn't ask permission. He started searching the car. He had me open the trunk, proceeded to remove everything that we owned, set it on the side of the dang highway, cars going by, wind whipping clothes every which way. To this day, I feel violated when I think about this. And then I hear his partner calling for him on the radio, and he's not answering right. 3 times his partner called for him, and he didn't answer. I'm like, oh my God, please freaking answer your partner. And then I see another police officer pull up on the other side of the median, on the other side of the highway. And then the officer that was searching our trunk gave a thumbs up and then a thumbs down. I don't have any idea what that meant, but I swear to you, I saw between the fingers of the police officer searching our trunk a little white bag with white whatever in it. And I feel like we were targeted for something. And he comes back into the car and he goes, I'm going to give you a courtesy ticket. I'm going, what the heck is that? Guys, I am not even joking with you. This guy took a sticky pad, a yellow sticky pad, and he proceeds to scribble some illegible stuff onto this thing. And he says, oh, this doesn't mean anything, and you don't even have to show up in court. This dude never asked our names, okay? Never asked to see any form of ID. Hands me this sticky note, for real, with some scribbled stuff on it that I never was able to figure. I'm looking at it and showing my fiance, like, and so I'm just like, I just wanted to just get out of that situation. So sorry about my hand again. So he hands me this. He doesn't ever call anything in. Not once did I see him call anything in. And he lets us go. We're loading everything back up in our trunk. And at first we were both kind of quiet, going back down the highway. And then we finally started talking about the situation. Like, that was so sketchy. So I decided to put a call into the Nashville Police Department. Now, this was before a cell phone. I did not have a cell phone. I don't even think they were around then. No, they weren't. So when we got to our next destination, I decided to call just and let them know what happened, and I was like, did y'all have, and I didn't even have a name for him, but I told him what happened and where we were stopped, and I don't know how they know or how they check, but she was like, and I gave her my name and everything and my car's tag number and all that. And she's like, we have no record of you being pulled over. She asked for the officer's name and I didn't know it. I didn't never see anything on his uniform with his name on it. And I wasn't smart enough to get a number off the car. But we couldn't pin down that was even a real officer. She thanked me for calling, and I guess, I don't know what they did with my report after that, but I am to this day, I feel like we were being set up for something bad. Like, I don't even think those were real police officers. Him or his so-called partner. And if they were definitely up to no good that day. I told my then fiance, I'm like, I feel like we escaped with our life. Like, I think something really bad was going to happen to us. And maybe God intervened. I don't know what happened. But I really feel like we could have died that day. I'm telling you, he was up to no good. And I'll always remember that day as the day I escaped death, because the day I was saved from it, really. I think God intervened and just made this man change his mind about whatever bad thing he was about to do to us. So, there's that story. Do you have a strange encounter with a police officer? Let me know in the comments.